right. I'm good. The recording's on and the live stream is just loading, so we're good to go.
All right. Then we will start this meeting of the Administrative Land Use Authority. Today is February 10th, 2021. We are using this meeting over Zoom, and we're live streaming to YouTube. We have Rob Stapley, our Public Works Director, and Max Pierce, our City Engineer. And I'm Scarlett Bankhead, the Administrative Services Director. The three of us make up the Land Use Authority, the Administrative Land Use Authority. We also have Ryan Snow, our City Manager, Diane Campbell, our zoning, our Land Use Office Specialist, and April Fredrickson, who does code compliance and zoning. And it looks like we have Jessica here for our first item, and Lindsay is on for our second item. So let's start with the visionary request. We have a conditional use for a new home. The Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority is considering a request by Visionary Homes for a new home located at 575 North, 275 East in Providence. This is Vineyard Lot 61. Diane, if you want to review the staff report for us really quickly.
Had to unmute myself. Okay, this application was received February 8th. And Rob Stapley, on yours it says it's blank, but it was given to me yesterday on February 9th. Under findings of fact, we look at Utah Code 10-9A-507, which allows municipalities to adopt a land use ordinance for conditional uses. We look at Providence City Code 10-5, sensitive areas, that says that any lot that has a sensitive area will meet the provisions of this section. Providence City Code 10-3-5, conditional use permits, allows the city to impose reasonable conditions for those sensitive areas or conditional uses. Conclusions of law, Providence City has adopted land use ordinances that include conditional uses and provisions for conditional uses. This parcel is in a hazard water table area. Providence City has the authority to impose reasonable conditions to mitigate the reasonably anticipated detrimental effects of the proposed use. And this request meets the requirements of the codes listed in the findings of fact. Conditions, the applicant will continue to meet all relevant federal, state, county, and Providence City rules, laws, codes, and ordinances. And the applicant will mitigate hazard water table by as usual, there's a mitigation letter and a window well drain detail in the application. And the conditional uses for the residents only on the site plan date stamped January. That is wrong. It should be February 8th. Approval by the city of any submitted application or paperwork does not alleviate the owners and or their agents from their responsibility to understand and conform to local, state, and federal laws. Providence City's approval is not intended to and cannot be construed to allow any laws to be violated.
Thanks, Diane.
Yes.
Jessica, did you receive a copy of the packet and the staff report?
Yes, I did.
And have you got any questions?
Nope.
Okay, just for the record, the letter that this refers to was from Dallas Nichols, written to me. It was on January 9th, 2020, and it references a geotechnical report provided by A Cash Corp, which established that a land drain would be an acceptable mitigation strategy that would allow the construction of homes with basements. Based on this recommendation, a land drain has been installed as part of the subdivision improvements. And so that is installed, it's working. It's been an accepted practice. Max or Rob, do you have any comments on this?
Nothing for me. Nothing from me.
Okay. April or Ryan, do you have any comments?
I don't.
I do not.
Okay, thanks so much. If no one has any other comments, I would entertain a motion to approve the conditional use for a new home located, I got to get back to the agenda, I apologize. Located at 575 North, 275 East in Providence, which is also Vineyard Lot 61. Did I get that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Max Pierce, second by Rob Stapley. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Voting was unanimous. Thanks, Jessica. You know the drill. Diane will get the record of decision ready, and then you can come in and pay your fees and move on to the county with your building permit.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, you have a good afternoon.
You too.
Our next agenda item, we haven't had one of these for a little while. This is not a sensitive area conditional use. This is a conditional use for an in-home salon. The Providence City Administrative Land Use Authority will consider for approval a request by Lindsay Jenkins for an in-home salon located at 580 Fox Ridge Drive in Providence. And Diane, Lindsay, before I have Diane read that, did you get a copy of the agenda packet and were you able to look at the staff report associated with your request?
Yes, I did receive that. Everything looks in order as far as I can tell.
Okay. Diane, do you want to go over that staff report really quick and then we can ask Lindsay a few questions?
Okay.
Sorry, I just need to grab my charger really quick. My battery's about to die.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Continue.
Okay. All right, Lindsay brought in this application on February 2nd, and the application included her business plan, the site plan, the statement describing the request, and a list of adjacent properties. Under findings of fact, we look at Utah Code 109A507 for conditional uses. We also look at Providence City Code 1035, which allows the city to impose reasonable conditions for conditional uses for the welfare of the persons residing or working or conducting business in the vicinity. And then we also look at the Providence City use chart, Providence City Code 1061, which is a use chart. The conclusions of law are Providence City has adopted ordinance in compliance with Utah Code 109A507. Providence City Code establishes the standards for reasonable conditions, and Providence City Code 1061 provides that barber and beauty shops are permitted by conditional use as a home business in a single-family traditional zone. The applicant meets the requirements of the findings of fact with the following conditions. The applicant will apply for a business license. The applicant will meet the requirements for a home business listed in Providence City Code 345. The applicant will meet the requirements listed in the fire inspector review. I don't have a review yet, but I think he was setting one up with you, correct, Lindsay?
He was here around 1 o'clock. He said everything looked fine and he would send that off to you.
Okay,
Both,
great.
fire and building were here at 1.
Okay, all right, great. The applicant will operate the business in the manner described in the site and business plan. The applicant will continue to meet all federal, state, county, and Providence City rules, laws, codes, and ordinances related to operation of a home salon. And approval by the city of any submitted application or paperwork does not alleviate the owners and or their agents from their responsibility to understand and conform to local, state, and federal laws.
Thanks, Diane. Rob or Max, questions, concerns?
Just probably just a point of clarification. When people enter your home, will they be entering off from the north side of your home or the east side of your home?
East. There's an exterior door for the salon that is on the east side of the home. I believe I specified that in the business plan. I'm trying to look it over really quickly. And so yes, that will be what is used.
Okay.
Rob, do you have any
So-
questions?
No.
I was just gonna ask, is that Fox Ridge or Abbey Lane? Are they
Abbey
entering
Lane.
from Fox Ridge or Abbey Lane?
So they will, so the east side is most closely connected to Fox Ridge. Yeah, Abbey Lane is the west side of the home.
Okay.
But Jess or Lindsay, you're anticipating that they're going to park in your driveway. Is that correct?
So it's kind of as needed. When I spoke to Esther at the business license department, she said that parking on the street is allowable, provided that it's within my property boundaries. So yeah, it's either in my driveway or within the property boundaries of my home on the street, but not blocking, not blocking the mailbox, and not, there should never be more than 2 cars at the moment, because there's only going to be 1 worker in the salon. So there should only ever be 2 cars on my property. But if I do end up hiring another stylist, then there may be 4 cars, but never more than 4.
Okay, 4 cars in addition to your regular cars, 4
park in
business
our
related,
garage. Yeah,
4
we park
business
in our
related
garage.
cars.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, all right.
And my plan to make sure that, clients are not coming in before, the previous client is finished, and thereby adding another car to that total. My plan is to have the stylists leave, a 10-minute window in between their appointments to, one, allow for sanitation and, cleaning, but also to make sure that there aren't more than, 2 cars at the moment, or 4 cars if I do hire another stylist on the property.
Ryan, do you have any? Oh, sorry.
So Scarlett, sorry about that. I just want to, I pulled it up on the, just so I'm straight. I want to make sure we get this clear, I guess, because I did pull it up on the county's website, and it looks like Abbey Lane is in fact on the west side, or excuse me, east side of the home, not the west side.
Have I been getting my directions backwards? I'm so
And-
sorry.
And I don't mean to confuse this. I don't want to make it a big deal, but I do want to, I think we probably ought to get it straight.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with directions.
That's all right.
So you can see on the west side, if you look in the front lawn, you can see like little dots in a line. That is
Okay.
the walkway to the exterior door for the salon.
Gotcha.
This is the north side.
So it's the northwest corner of the home is where they're.
Yes.
entering.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for that.
Thanks for that clarification, Max. Rob, do you have anything?
No, she answered it with her last comments.
Okay, all right. One of the, April or Ryan, do either of you have anything else?
I have the question of if, and I have to look back to the condition, but I think that the 10 minutes between style sessions is important, and may need to be quantified, because if it's not, if you have 2 stylists that they have 2 cars, you have 2 clients that they have 2 cars, and you have 2 of them waiting, then you have another 2 cars, you got 6 cars plus the house car. You've got a significant amount of traffic. I think that the 10-minute wait is good, and I appreciated that she brought that up. but is that going to be noted anywhere?
I believe I put it in my business plan. And also I do want to clarify the, the overhead view that shows where cars can be parked. Those 2 cars that are in the driveway, those are not my personal cars. Those are, so if they did park spread out on the street as I've shown and in the driveway, then, you could have up to 6, which I don't plan on happening. I plan on it only being the 4. But yeah, those 2 cars that are shown in the driveway are not family cars. Those are in the garage separate. So I did that to kind of show that I have room for more cars than should be needed.
And Ryan, just to answer your follow-up to answer on your question, one of the conditions, condition number 4 says the applicant will operate the business in the manner described in the site plan, in the site and business plan. And then in her business plan, she says all services in the salon will be by appointment only and have 10 to 15 minutes between them to reduce the number of people in the salon and the number of cars in the area. Currently anticipated number of cars at any one time is 2. So she has addressed the 10 to 15 minutes in her business plan, and it is incorporated into the conditions by that condition number 4.
Perfect. I think that's a good thing to have addressed in there, and a good thing to be on the notes so that when we look at it, it's noted. So appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to express appreciation to Lindsay for her patience, and actually also for coming in and getting the conditional use. She actually bought a home that had this salon set up already in it, and when we researched our records, we could not find that it had ever come through our process. So thank you, Lindsay, for following the rules and getting all of this taken care of. Good job. Max or Rob, are there any other comments you want to make?
Nothing else for me.
Nothing from me.
I just would kind of caution you, Lindsay, we've had an interesting winter. This is not one to judge by our normal winters. And so there will be, normally during the winter months, there will be snow ricks along the street. And so I think that may make street side parking a little bit inconvenient, just for your own reference. So,
Yeah, I've lived in Logan since 2012, so I've experienced a couple of the really snow-filled winters and some mild winters as well. So yeah, hopefully we are well prepared in that regard.
Okay, all right. If there's no other questions or comments, I would entertain a motion to approve the conditional use for an in-home salon located at 580 Fox Ridge Drive in Providence, Utah, requested by Lindsay Jenkins. Actually, before we do that, I do want to clarify one point. Lindsay does bring out the point that right now she has one micro, what's the term, Lindsay?
A microblader or a microblading specialist.
But her report also says that she may have one stylist and one nail station. So I just want to make sure you're only planning on a maximum of 2 people working in there at any one time, right? Not 3.
No, there's not room for 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so our original plan was to hire on a hairstylist and a nail technician. But this microblading specialist reached out to us when I was trying to kind of gauge interest and whether or not we should do this at all. She reached out asking if she could use the space. So the only reason we would hire on a hairstylist and or a nail tech would be if her contract was terminated, because the health department, because of the way microblading works, that cannot function in the same space as hairstyling or nail work. So right now it is just the microblading specialist. And if her, she moves or whatever, if her contract is terminated, then I would like the ability to hire on, a different cosmetology field, I guess, of a hairstylist and a nail tech.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to, like I said, I just wanted to clarify that there, at any given time, there would be a maximum of 2 people working in there, not 3.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. All right. Okay. That being said, I would entertain a motion to approve the conditional use for an in-home salon located at 580 Fox Ridge Drive in Providence, based on the findings of fact, conclusions, and the conditions. And Diane, if you wouldn't mind in the conditions, just clarifying that there would be no more than 2 operators at any given time, so that we've got that clarified. And if one of you or gentlemen are okay with that clarification, if you would make that motion, I'd appreciate it.
I will make that motion.
Rob, I don't know if you're muted or not, but I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
Oh, I can hear you now. Well,
okay. I'll second that motion.
okay. Motion by Max Pierce. And Lindsay, that includes that little caveat about the 2 operators at one time, at any given time, no more than 2. Motion by Max Pierce, second by Rob Stapley. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Voting was unanimous. So a little bit different here, Lindsay. We will get you the record of decision. And then I quite sure I saw your business license application come through as well. So
Did
once,
it? I hadn't been notified.
so once Diane gets that record of decision done, then I can sign the business license for you and we can get that taken care of as well.
Okay, and then that is the, oh, I'm sorry, my son just woke up. Hi, sweetheart, come here. Yes, go get a snack. And so then once that all comes through, I should then notify my microblading specialist to go through the process of getting her license, her business license. Okay,
Yep, that will work.
wonderful. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. We're excited.
Lindsay, I
Good.
just have a question for you.
Hmm.
Microblading, I'm not unfamiliar with it. Is it more under the cosmetology science or closer to the tattoo parlor science?
That is very debatable. Because
I apologize for
like
not
a
knowing it very
tattooing
well.
specialist. I'm sorry, what?
I said, I apologize for not knowing the science of it very well.
Oh, that's all right. Like you do have to go for training for purely microblading. Like you can't be a tattooist, a tattoo artist, and also do microblading. Those are 2 separate fields. But because, according to health department code, you can't have a microblader and a hairstylist in the same space. It's hard to put a microblading specialist in the same, in the same category as other cosmetologists. So it's kind of the middle of the Venn diagram, I guess.
Okay. All right. I guess I appreciate that additional clarification. Thank you.
Any other questions from anybody or comments? Okay. That being said, if there's nothing else, I would like to thank everybody for their time and attendance in today's meeting and wish you a good afternoon. And I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion to adjourn by Rob Stapley, second by Max Pierce. All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you again.